Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. It's Thursday night right now, and there's a lot of action going on, so I'm banging this video out real quick so I can get back to watching it. We got a cool little Pac-12 matchup here on a Friday night, late night, Pac-12 after dark. Oregon State, Washington. Let's go.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
All right, Oregon State on the road in Washington here. Line is Huskies -4.5. Early public's about even, but look at all that sharp money on Oregon State. 95% of the money on the Beavers as of Monday morning. Check this out. So the books react to that sharp money on Oregon State. They drop the line from 4.5 down to 3.5, but when it hits 3.5, here comes the Washington Huskies money, and they bump it right back up to 4.5. So here we are on Thursday night. We're looking at Washington -4.5 again. So let's cap this game. If you subscribe to this channel, you already know the first step. We're running the numbers through the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Washington -2.62. So that's about a 2-point lean on Oregon State. All right, let's break this matchup down. And Oregon State comes to this matchup with one of the best records against the spread in the country. 6-2 against the spread so far. The problem is 4 of those 6 wins against the spread come at home. Oregon State's just 1-2 against the spread on the road, and they're traveling to Washington, who's completely undefeated, 5-0, 4-1 against the spread. So this Washington team, they lead the Pac-12 in passing. Actually, they lead the entire country in passing. They're averaging 380 passing yards per game. So obviously, if we're capping this game, the first thing we need to look at is the Oregon State pass defense. And great news for the Beavers, Oregon State has great numbers against the pass. They're 3rd in the Pac-12, including a great game against USC. Check this out. They held Caleb Williams to 16-36, 180 yards and a touchdown, just 5.0 yards per attempt. If you've watched USC football, you know that's insane to hold Caleb Williams to those numbers. Oregon State did cover in that game, but USC was actually able to run the ball pretty well, and the Trojans did snag a win there. Now, there's 2 different angles you can grab here from that Oregon State-USC game. Number 1 would be the home and away splits. I mean, that was Oregon State at home. We know they're good at home. This game's on the road at Washington. Are they really going to be able to shut down this Washington passing attack on the road? Or you can look at angle number 2. Yo, Oregon State defense shut down the USC passing attack. Washington doesn't have the run game that USC has. So if Oregon State shuts down Washington's passing game the way they shut down USC's, then Oregon State should win this game. It all depends on how much you personally value home-away splits. Everyone's different. Me, myself, I find it hard to believe that a team is just lights out against the pass at home and then complete garbage against the pass on the road. Football, there's just a very little amount of games, a very small sample size. So I think home and away splits in football get exaggerated a bit. But it's definitely concerning. We can't pretend we don't see it. In all 3 of Oregon State's road games, their defense really wasn't great. They allowed 32 points to Fresno State, 27 to Stanford, and 42 to Utah. Washington has a higher ranked offense than all 3 of those schools. So I really think the Huskies offense is going to light up the scoreboard here against Oregon State. The question is, can they make stops against this Beavers offense? Well, the answer on paper is no, probably not. Washington's defense is ranked all the way back at 86th in TFEI. Meanwhile, Oregon State's offense is ranked 45th in OFEI. So on paper, Oregon State's offense is significantly better than Washington's defense. But you want to hear a nice little mismatch for the Washington defense? Check these numbers out. The Washington Huskies are allowing just 3.4 yards per carry against and just 114.6 rushing yards against on the season. That's good for 17th and 18th in the entire country. In case you're unfamiliar with Oregon State's offense, they are run heavy. 58.6% of the Beavers' offensive snaps are run plays. That's good for 18th in the country in run play frequency. Washington's defense is not good, but it can stop the run. And if you want to compete with Washington, if you want to keep up with that offense, you're going to have to make plays through the air. And Oregon State is still rocking with the backup quarterback. Chance Nolan did return to a light practice, but from what I'm reading, he's not going to play this week. You're still rocking with Galbranson, a quarterback who's been okay. I'm not shitting on the kid. He's been okay. But since he took over, Oregon State's 0-2 against the spread on the road. They haven't covered a spread on the road since he took over at quarterback. Which is why I'm on the Huskies here. I know a lot of sharps are on Oregon State. I think they have this one wrong. I like Washington by a touchdown. Let's say Washington 30, Oregon State 23, final score. Give me Washington -4.5, lock it in. If anything changes with this bet, I'll let you know on Twitter, so give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the final tickets that I do, bet of the day, parlays of the day, top 7 bets, underdogs of the day, that kind of stuff, and we're getting hot. We're having a good week. Head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. All right, Friday night, it's a loaded NBA night. Got some college football as well. Let's have a good Friday. Prepare for a loaded weekend. I'll talk to you guys on Twitter.